Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. As I am recording this video, I am currently in a fight to the death with the Steam servers trying to dig up some of these great Steam deals. I have dug up somehow, I don't know, because it takes eons to load the damn thing right now, as it happens with every Steam sale. I don't know how we're like 15 years deep into these Steam sales and this is still going on, but we do have some great deals. We have some historic lows. Not gonna attach a price range to any of these yet. We'll have the under 5s, under 10s, and all that kind of stuff in the subsequent days as I can go through the entire sale. However, I have already picked out some deals that I think are outstanding and historic lows across a lot of titles. Got about 12 deals here. A lot of them are quite good. So let's get right into it and let's start things off with a really notable one. Cyberpunk 2077 at a brand new low price, 65% off for $21. I would highly recommend you to go the route of getting the Ultimate Edition. Yes, it is, considerably more expensive, 53% off for $38.62, but this will get you the Phantom Liberty expansion, and on top of that, there's been a lot of discussion around Cyberpunk right now with a patch 2.3 that's about to come out, and that's going to be as big as patch 2.2, which was a very big expansion, or excuse me, a very big patch as well. Notable patch, not 2.0 big, but pretty notable with a lot of enhancements. Cyberpunk 2077, I think, is an outstanding game. I have said before, I think the ceiling on the Cyberpunk from a world standpoint is much higher than The Witcher is. And you guys know I am the biggest nut hugger when it comes to The Witcher. And I get that Cyberpunk had its issues, but at this point, what is there with Cyberpunk and what it can be in the future? I think the sky is the limit. The game is already outstanding, and I thought the game was, definitely it had its issues back in December of 2020, but I didn't think it was as bad as people were making it out to be, but now what it is truly a phenomenal RPG. And you look at the recent reviews, 7,400 reviews, 94% of those reviews are positive, so just shy of overwhelmingly positive. Phantom Liberty, in my opinion, the greatest expansion to a video game of all time. It's tremendous, highly recommended. I'm going to go back and do another playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077 at some point. Probably will do quite a few more playthroughs of it, a lot of replayability, but yeah, $38.62 for the Ultimate Edition, that is what I would recommend. Next up, Sonic X Shadow Generations, 40% off for $29.99. Look, you might still look at this as a relatively expensive price point, given that Sonic Generations used to go for like $5. However, this Shadow campaign that's in Sonic X Shadow Generations is phenomenal. Even though it's on the shorter side, it is tremendous, and you get Sonic Generations in there as well. I can understand waiting for a cheaper price for sure, but it's got 9,700 reviews, 97% positive for an overwhelmingly positive reception. Well deserved, in my opinion. Sonic is just firing on all cylinders, I think, at this point, and this was a great release last year, and I had a great time with it. The Shadow campaign, as well as playing through Sonic Generations again. $29.99 on that. Good pickup on that. Next up, historic low, Disco Elysium, the final cut, 90% off for $3.99. Obviously, Disco Elysium has quite a lot of controversy with what was handled between the developers and the publishers. I'm not here to get into that right now. I am just assessing the game, and the game itself is phenomenal. As far as a meticulously woven together narrative-driven title, this is one of the best games that you are going to come across from a writing standpoint, a decision-based gameplay standpoint. It is really, really well done, and I think for $3.99, it's an outstanding pickup. Very methodical in game design, though. Don't expect something that's super fast-paced and you get from point A to point B really quickly. It is a little bit slower paced. There is a level of tension attached to the game, but I thought it was incredibly well done. And for $3.99, an outstanding pickup. Next up, Stardew Valley, 50% off for $7.49. Stardew Valley is one of those games that's a classic at this point. I think a lot of you guys already own it, but it's a game that consistently gets updated. It still has an incredibly consistent player base, and it's a game that is incredibly relaxing, but also incredibly replayable. $7.49 for Stardew Valley, even though it's not my cup of tea as far as the games I gravitate towards. Obviously, it's easy to see why so many people love it. 762,000 reviews, 98% positive. Just think about that for a second. 762,000 reviews, and 98% of those reviews are positive. That's an insane stat, and just an incredibly well-received game. Next up, we got Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy. You got Tomb Raider 2013, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. I have no idea why I just said them out of order. It's Tomb Raider 2013, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. You guys know how I feel about the Tomb Raider games post-Tomb Raider 2013. I absolutely love these games. It's one of my favorite franchises in all of gaming. However, just a little bit of a bummer that it has gone MIA for so long. But these games are great. I always find them worthwhile to go back and play through them again. I've played Tomb Raider 2013 like an absurd number of times. ROTR I've played a numerous amount of times as well. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider, well, I didn't like it as much as ROTR. I still thought it was a great game, and to get all 3 titles for $11 and change, definitely a great pickup there. Next up, yes, it's pricey, but it's of a franchise that I absolutely love. The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak is 30% off for $42. You guys, I love me Legend of Heroes, and I really hope that the upcoming release of Trails in the Sky First Chapter expands this franchise to a lot more people. And Legend of Heroes is one of those series that's always gonna hold up in price. Like, it is what it is as far as that's concerned. $42 though for an 80-hour game, even longer than that if you take your time, do all the side content. Daybreak is a fine starting point. Like, really, with Legend of Heroes, I think once Trails in the Sky First Chapter comes out, everybody's gonna say, if you want to get into Legend of Heroes, go pick up that. But Daybreak starts off a new story arc. Obviously, all of the Legend of Heroes games are connected together. But again, a new cast, new story arc, and it's really well done. I love Daybreak. Daybreak 2, not as good as Daybreak 1, but still a decent game. And Daybreak 1, I thought was phenomenal. Daybreak 1 might be my favorite Legend of Heroes game of all time. I just thought it was outstanding. But, with, Trails Beyond the Horizon coming out, that might take the throne for the best Legend of Heroes game. But that'll be out in January of 26. So, looking forward to that. Next up, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. That is 30% off for $42. Obviously has had a litany of issues as far as technical performance goes, but I still enjoyed my time with Stalker 2. It is available on Xbox Game Pass, so you can play it that way, but $42 for the game. A lot of content, and it is seeing quite a lot of updates, so hopefully they get the game better and better. They just had a significant patch drop for the game, so again, hopefully it gets better and better. Next up, do want to give a shout to Dying Light. It's $4.99, and the 10th anniversary edition is $10. The Essentials edition is $4.99. It just got its retouched update, so I wanted to give this a shout at $4.99. This is a fantastic game, an excellent open world survival horror action game, really leaning more so on the action side of things and less so on the survival horror. Like, there is definitely some tension and some spooky elements to it, but it is more so leaning on that action, but it is really, really well done. Again, retouched update just dropped. You got Dying Light the Beast coming out in August of this year. Great time to play Dying Light 1 if you have yet to. Schedule 1, 30% off for $13.99. Took the PC gaming world by storm earlier this year, done by one person. It is a pretty remarkable game in terms of how much it resonated. I have yet to play the game, given that I'm old and washed up and I can't play games with keyboard and mouse, and I'm waiting for controller support to be implemented, so I'll certainly give it a try once it adds controller support, but again, being a washed-up old man has its repercussions, so it is what it is. But 194,000 reviews, 98% positive on that, and 30% off for $13.99. Next up, my game of the year for 2024, Metaphor ReFantazio, is 40% off for $42. I like Metaphor better than every Persona game. You can take me to the gallows if you disagree. Metaphor, I think, is tremendous. I love the setting. I much prefer the setting that Metaphor has over the Persona games. The soundtrack is outstanding. The battle theme is actually on my phone, and I listen to it regularly. It's great. Warriors in Arms is the one that I like the most as far as Metaphor's soundtrack, but it's got a lot of good tracks. Warriors in Arms, I think, is great, though. And yeah, it's a phenomenal game from a narrative standpoint. I feel like the plot twists were worthwhile, even though a little bit predictable. Like, you can see them coming, but how everything was woven together, I think, was incredibly well done. And I would rather a game, and I've said this before, I would rather a game where the plot twists are predictable, but they make sense within the context of the game, instead of just plot twists for the sake of plot twists and they surprise people. I would much rather it being satisfying, and it almost, it makes you feel smart when you see something coming, and then ultimately it does see coming, because it's not slapping you in the face in terms of the plot twist and, you know, seeing things coming. But again, I just think they dropped the hints and how it was executed. By the end of the game, I just thought the story was really well woven together. $42 on that for the game of the year and an 80-hour experience. I think it's worthwhile. Alan Wake is $1.99. Super cheap for Alan Wake. I think Alan Wake 1 is great. I would definitely recommend it. So yeah, good deal on that. That is for the collector's edition, by the way, which gets you the collector's edition extras. So take that for what you will. You can also get Alan Wake and Alan Wake's American Nightmare for $2.49. So another 50 cents for American Nightmare. I think that's pretty damn good, all things considered. And then lastly, Ready or Not is $24.99. This is all over the front page. Good deal on this as well. But yeah, Steam servers are whooping me right now, so I'm not able to sit down and go through everything under $5 and $10 and everything that I typically do. I'd look through all of the deals, but we're able to dig these up. And that Cyberpunk deal is outstanding. Some other great deals, Stardew Valley, Disco Elysium, definitely some good stuff available right now. But that's going to do it for me. For now, expect a ton more videos on the summer sale and be unlocked to that. Be unlocked to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Y'all know how it goes. Links to all of these in the description box below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.